I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. I don't know what to do, folks. I think we can maybe do this insurgence again. We have to level up. Hi, guys.
Take them down.
We're fixing to fuck you.
There goes the enemy.
But see, the only thing that I feel is we should have won that battle. We should have won that battle, but the fucking computer didn't topple her when it was supposed to. If we toppled her, we would have won that.
It's me you won.
But even so, I mean, that is a huge difficulty spike. Because thus far, this game hasn't really, or this DLC hasn't really given us a kind of a challenge like that where you can expect, oh shit, this boss fight's going to be ridiculously epic. It's going to take forever to beat him. And we got to find every single Advanced Wars pack or whatever. Testudo. Yeah, there was no indication of that. I mean, I would love to level everybody up, but I don't have the materials. I already enhanced. Again, the defensive unit should be stopping that from happening. I already enhanced the weapons as high as I can at this point. Yeah, I've been pretty much everywhere on this map.
That's a big help. Been waiting for someone to say that. Now, what was the best response? Right! They're really dropping down there! I'll be your opponent.
Very thoughtful of you.
Get up in the front lines for fuck's sake. And I don't know what else I can do here. I mean, aside from level up to level 38 or some shit and just make it completely obvious that we're going to win. Now listen, I had to do some grinding in the original game, but that was more because I wasn't sure what was ahead of us. It wasn't that I hadn't been, you know, I mean, I wasn't doing all the side quests and what have you. I mean, I'm not trying to do that here either. But at the same time, I thought I did enough at this point to be right where I was supposed to be. And again, you just have to ask this question. How many times do you have to have 6 people of incredible ability just slashing and bashing at somebody? And that's some serious armor she's got, you know what I'm saying? Food around with head. Were you healing them the whole time? Hey, cut it out. And you know how I don't really have any kind of, any kind of interest in doing the same thing over and over again. My tolerance gets lesser and lesser as I get older and older with that shit. How about that shit?
That's a big help.
I'd love for him to unlock another slot. But again, I need to find the materials.
This would slow us down.
Quick and painless, thankfully.
Alright, that's halfway there. Here we go. We're getting close. I mean, are we leveling up? Are we getting to 34? I don't even know if being at level 34 is going to make a difference. I mean, I've done everything to this woman.
What we're made of.
Ha! Goes without saying, doesn't it? Illusory bloom!
It's me you want. Thanks for that.
Side launch. That's the only thing with Rexy, with Sexy Rexy over here. He has to have the enemy broken for his abilities to really make that much of a difference. But again, that's what I'm saying, like with the computer, how the computer betrayed me. You should have had... You should have had at least one top already. There are 2 topplers here.
Here's one for the team.
And then it gets to this point where she just continues to shit out fireballs and what have you, and laser beams and whatever. And it's like, what am I supposed to do? She's completely depleting my health to the point where I can't recover fast enough. And then you're more or less picking people up off the ground. And like I said, the one thing about this game, anyone could revive anyone. I don't even know what you would do. Like, do you want to go to some shop and buy 1,000,000 Phoenix Downs like you had to in Final Fantasy or whatever? Or do you want to have it that you can seamlessly continue your fight even though somebody drops in a game like this, which is all about synergy and fighting in unison and stuff like that?
I'll send you to your rest.
But then there's a trade-off on that. There's a risk-reward, because in the first 2, and I believe even the DLC of 2, so probably even the first 2.5 versions of this series, you had to build up a meter for chain attacks that also would give you the opportunity to raise fallen comrades. So this way it wasn't that, again, you had to stop everything and get a Phoenix down or whatever, or some kind of revival spell or whatever. You would just keep fighting, and you know, if you had the meter build, anybody can raise anybody. But then if you didn't have a full chain attack or synergy meter filled up, then, well, you're fucked, and that's the end of that. And your teams were, originally it was 3. And that's the max you can have. And you couldn't flip between any of them during the battle. Then it was the teams were 3, but you also had your blades with you, which kind of acted like another team member, so it was kind of like 6. But again, you had to only be able to flip the character that you were using by going to the character menu and just switching out who was the lead character or whatever. You couldn't do it during battle like you could here. But anybody, if you kept that synergy meter, and the first one made it a little bit easier to keep that meter up. If you kept that meter up, anybody can revive anybody else, and you could just keep doing it. You could just keep the meter running. You know, like you're parking in a public place. Keep the meter running, and you could keep reviving everybody. There we go, level 34. All right, cool. But with this, you can always revive as long as the healer is still standing. But if the healer is not standing, then you're done. You're done? All right, look at that. I didn't even have that in the Animapedia. So I don't know. What's better? I mean, is it better to just keep... You can't just keep having revives ready, because if you keep reviving people, then, you know, you can't lose. But at the same time, I mean, you don't have to run when your healers are dropped on the ground, because you could just stick it out. I prefer not having to go through the whole thing all over again, in the sense that I have to walk back over there. I'd rather just kind of walk backwards a bit. Let's take care of this unique, and then we'll take another swing at her. Because again, I can't promote these people anymore. I'm not going to go traveling around the friggin' universe looking for all these different items just to fight one character. I mean, this is most likely not the final battle. I'm pretty sure it's not. So, you know, to put all of this effort into one fight that is more than likely going to be one of a few that are coming up to close out the DLC, it ain't worth it. Another thing, too, that's bothering me is it's taking forever for my class art to fucking build up. I mean, it seems like that for him because, again, when you have two defenders, it becomes a little bit iffy as to who's getting the attention and who's not. Preambulator Moritz. I don't want any of that in my coffee, I guess. Nah, shit, too late. Too late.
Now you're getting me.
But again, like I said, I just don't know what the balance would be. I mean, I don't like... Unless the enemy is about to die or it's an enemy that you're not really too afraid of, I guess it wouldn't make any difference if the healers were still standing there. That's one of the reasons why I say when you're putting together teams in this game, it's best to have at least 2 healers. Because this way, if you have at least 2 healers, you don't have to worry about losing all of them or whatever. Well, you do, but... And you can also stop yourselves from dying. It's not that difficult. I mean, it is, but... Listen, I love this game. Don't get me wrong. This is one of the great games you'll play. I definitely suggest playing this game. I definitely suggest getting this game and its DLC. For the most part, I'm having a great time. Are you trying to, like, what's going on here with this? I mean, when it comes to Xenoblade, I am hooked, man. They're fun games. A couple of them have really deep storylines and everything like that I can stick with. And I'm not a storyline guy. I don't give a shit. They're computer-generated characters. I don't care about relating to them, which is not the pretext for a great storyline, no matter what everybody on the internet wants to think. Why do they always resist that fucking break, man? You know, I play games to review for you guys and to have fun, and that's why I gave up on Sony and what they call AAA games, because they're not well made. A lot of them are buggy. A lot of them don't run well. They are terribly written in terms of they're attempting too hard to be these progressive, brilliant, artistic movie type things. I don't care. It's a fucking game, dude. You know, the mechanics are all the same. They never change. You play one of those, you play Uncharted, you've played Last of Us, you've played fucking all of the wannabe Dark Souls. They're all the same game. Even this new one, this new attempt at Star Wars, again, another fucking Star Wars whatever. Which, by the way, as I've said, never gets it right. They never get Star Wars right. Never. Never, like it never happens. They never get Star Wars right. They don't get the context. They don't get anything right. And they're always attempting to tell you what happened between episodes 2 and 3 and 3 and 4, really. Topo. Okay, so none of you. Not Rex, not A, none of you can tell. Thank you. And now let's put her to sleep.
Now you're getting me.
Yeah, so this new, like, Jedi fallen biscuits, whatever, I don't even care. Yeah, again, it's the same fucking thing all over. They just steal from each other or copy from each other or borrow from each other. It's the same thing. It's not fun, guys. This is not fun anymore. It's been done. So at least with Nintendo games, even in games that, like Mario or Zelda, you know, Tears of the Kingdom are coming up next week. Tears of the Kingdom is coming up next week. Even with that, you know, people now are suddenly, the new thing is to start bashing fucking Breath of the Wild. Listen, Breath of the Wild, I loved. It was not a Zelda game I was used to. I've been playing Zelda since the original Zelda. And I'm used to the dungeons, man. It's just, to me, it was like a cop-out. Because dungeon crawling and defeating enemies with items you find and stuff, that's just Zelda. That's what makes Zelda Zelda. To get rid of that just didn't make sense to me. I mean, it would be like having a Metroid game where you don't explore anymore. You don't pick up items to get to areas you couldn't get to. Like, it wouldn't, even Prime did that. Like, it's just, that's what makes Metroid Metroid. It's like Mario without platforming. It just doesn't make sense. One of the fun aspects of Zelda has always been, hey, I got this new sword, or I got this hook shot, or I got this ladder, and now I can fight this enemy or whatever. Like that's always been the fun aspect of Zelda. So it was kind of a weird flavor to me, and I'm hoping that we get those dungeons and those bosses back. But the one thing that I respected and the one thing I really enjoyed about Breath of the Wild was every single little square in that entire map had something to do. And every bit of that something, I mean, Dark Souls to be damned, man. From Software can eat it. Every little bit of that something that you sought out, that you found, enhanced and advanced the lore. There we go.
More intel on the
In such a way. Oh, there we go. So, I mean, I gotta respect that aspect. What the fuck? I've got 3 of these? Okay, when chosen, increase damage ratio by 50%. 100% chance to revive all down party members, allowing them to... Alright. Somebody's gonna get that. You're gonna do that. You're doing that. Okay. So I'm hoping, but if not, like, just the idea that you can throw a stick at something. You can take a bomb arrow or whatever, or you can create a bomb arrow and shoot it between this whole legion of moblins and whatever and blast them into oblivion. Like, all that stuff. Or you could just get your paraglider and go right into the castle and defeat all 4 Calamity Ganons and fight the Ganon itself and beat the game in like 8 minutes. I mean, the options are incredible, and the game was stunning. There were so many different things you could do. If you were a collector maniac, you could spend hours doing that. You could play that game for 300 hours. You could play that game for 20 minutes. But at least, again, Nintendo tries to do new things. These other companies just do the same fucking thing over and over again. It's like, and it's not fun. It never was. I'd have to be into the storyline, and I don't care about video game storylines per se. Unless it's something really deep like this, which is a reflection of modern day society in one form or another. Unless it's something like that, I mean, fuck, I don't care about, more of your daddy issues or this new one. I like this new one where it's just like kids do whatever the hell they want. Just let them do whatever they want. Like that idiotic Anywhere and Anytime from Here to Next Eternity fucking movie that won all these Academy Awards just because everybody loves the woman from Shang-Chi and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and now everyone loves Data. At 70 years old, Because that's all it is. I like the characters. That over-the-top, idiotic movie was so great because you like the characters. And it was about, what was it about? It's about the fear of letting your daughter grow up. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Another one of these, let your kids do whatever they want. Responsibility, huh? What's that? You could just have that because you say you're responsible. I love this cello thing that she does. Are we seeing a major difference in damage? Not really, right? She resists everything. Like, she resists bleed. She more than likely will resist break. But again, like I said, I'm an old man. I've been around the block many, many times. And just video games just they're not like fucking life, dude. They're hobbies. They're fun. It's all they're supposed to be. And Nintendo still at least gets that. And they try to make every experience a fun experience. And like I said, at least they fucking try new fucking things. I don't do the same thing over and over and over and over and over. What are you, some kind of an idiot? Please break. Please. Why don't you break during the fucking chain attacks? That's like your Ouroboros chain attack, too, and you're not breaking. I mean, sometimes I watch this guy called Synthetic Man or whatever, and he's another one of these suburbanites that has a shit ton of subscribers and what have you, and makes money off of just clicks and whatever. Oh, she is broken. Okay, cool. Topo. Bang. Thank you. And I was watching him review the new fucking Fallen Order or whatever Star Wars game. And he talks in such a monotone drone. Like, he just, yeah, and this is like this. And he uses all the same terms everyone else is using at this point. Like DPS or whatever. Like, I can't stand those fucking terms. DPS. Just say the fucking words, man. Fucking lazy assholes. This isn't your language. You stole it. But, you know, he just sounds like he's fed up with video games as a whole. And it's like, but video games are fine. It's the United States version of them. It's this AAA garbage. And I know that From Software is Japanese and everything, and Capcom is Japanese, but they're getting too westernized. Like, Nintendo is still Japanese-centric. God, I love you, baby. You know, like, for instance, women have tits and they're beautiful. The tits and the women. 192,000, and she barely scraped. We gave her like a skinned knee a little bit. She got to put some rubbing alcohol on it. And Mega Blast. I mean, we're higher leveled now. Come on, man. This has to be a little bit more significant health on her part being lost. Meanwhile, she's still blowing us up with these fucking lasers and fireballs and whatever. Ow! Keep it away from the healers. He's dead? How the fuck did that happen? I need you to wake up, bro.
Pull back. I'll cover you.
The next chain attack, because I'm sure this is going to take at least another 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Next chain attack, I'm going to pause. Oh, shut her. Alright. Yeah. Topple. Thank you. You're not getting away. Fuck, too late. Fuck.
Pass to me.
Oh my.
But again, like this game, dude, I'm playing through Advanced Wars 1 and 2, the reboot. I fucking love those games. But even those games, like, there's a map that's just disgusting. It's like you can't see anything. Your enemy can see you everywhere. But even that employs some kind of strategy. This guy that was playing it, the original one, the one on Game Boy Advance, he was saying that map has like no strategy to it. And I'm going, no, actually, when you think about it, it does. And you actually figured it out. Got to draw her out, you know. She is bleeding. Oh shit. No, you don't, sweetie. No, you don't. Okay, 1 second. I will be back in 1 second.